Okay, everyone. So we have Hiranya here, the single digit rank holder in IELET 2023. Hi, Hiranya. How are you doing? And how are you feeling?
Hi there. I'm doing well. I think I feel good, pretty good about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So how was your reaction when you got to know about your result?
Honestly, I wasn't expecting it. Like, I knew that I was going to get in, but because all the cutoff predictions were pegged at 80, at the score 80, and I was barely making it the cut with 83. So I was honestly, I really did not expect a single digit rank. Like, the thought didn't cross my mind even once. I knew I was going to get in, but again, not expected. So it was, my first reaction was definitely surprise, but then it felt good. Yeah.
Okay, so and I would like to also know about your strategy. I mean, a lot of students would be looking up to your strategy, your timeline, your approach to all the kind of law entrance examination that we have. So please take us through your journey.
Right. So I started preparing for all the law entrances like a year, one and a half year ago. Like, and okay, first, when it comes to strategy, I would like to talk about AILET first. So I think we all were expecting a paper like 2020 to like 2022, which was you would have
Right.
a separate English and logical reasoning section, a separate GK section, and that GK would be more general awareness based rather than fact based. So we were all expecting that, and I think each student out there was making up a strategy which would fit that pattern. So like any other student, I had one too that fit that pattern, that I would first go with English, then logical, then GK. And I had in mind I would attempt this many questions of each section. However, the day of AILET, I'm not even talking about the exam right now. The moment I left for the examination center, I looked up at my aunt who was there with me, and I'm like, this is going to be unpredictable. This paper is going to be unpredictable. That was literally the first thing that I said to her. And she wouldn't believe it, but I'm like, this is going to be unpredictable. So even at that moment, I was prepared that, okay, this is going to be really unpredictable. And I was not expecting anything, not in terms of marks, but in terms of what the paper is going to like. So I went into the center, and you realize that you open the paper and you do the first 5 questions. When you come to the sixth question, you realize, no, it's not what you have planned. Your strategy is not going to work here, and you need to improvise, right? So you, in that moment, you improvise and then you start on with it. Now I think in that moment, I know you asked the question about my strategy, but I would say the best strategy, you must have a strategy for any exam, but the best strategy needs to be a strategy which can also be improvised anytime, any second. So I feel like the reason I gained an advantage at the rate, the reason I got a rank, I feel like a lot of students would have scored much better in the paper. In fact, I regret making mistakes. I feel like I would have scored much better. So I feel like the only reason I am the only reason it went fine and bad for others is because people panicked. Their strategy stopped working, and I feel like that is the only reason that let down all students which were just as, if not prepared as I was. So that was a
Right.
big point there. I mean, so I feel like the best strategy is to not have a strategy, it is to have a strategy, but it is not to have a fixed strategy. It needs to be a flexible, something improvised, and something you can work with in the spur of the moment. With clay,
Right.
with CLAT in general, with CLAT in general, you know how the paper are because of the pattern. So the strategy involves just you practice and practice and practice, and then you fix an order that works for yourself for each section, and you do that on the exam day.
Yeah. So basically, it's all about keeping your calm in the examination, right? Rather than getting panicked.
Exactly.
Great. And you did a great job with that. I mean, keeping your calm in that stressed situation when you're prepared for 1.5 years, not an easy task, I'm sure about it. So moving on to the mock test, I'm sure mock test would have been a really, crucial part of your preparation. because without mock test, taking mock test, you do not get to know about your strengths and weaknesses and to, refine it in a way. So you took CLAT mocks from CL, right? So how do you think it helped you in your preparation? How did it help you up in your game?
Right, mocks are obviously an essential part if you're preparing for, again, any exam. So I bought the CL test series and I started with that. I appeared for mocks, and I feel you need to diversify mocks too. So you need to do mocks, like random mocks, literally. So I started with mocks, and mocks. Okay, frankly speaking, was my mock score was quite good since day one. So it never came, like I didn't really have a lot to go analyze or go about. I just gave one mock. I saw, okay, these are my mistakes, and it mostly ended up to being I did not read this well or that well. And again, I
Right.
obviously, once you realize that, you move on and you do better on another mock. But I think I started well. So I mean, mocks are obviously important because they help me get into that 2 hour headspace that, okay, Hiranya, you are going to get up at 1 and you're going to sit and appear for a mock for 2 hours. So obviously that helped me prepare on for the exam day, because for both CLAT and ALET, I just woke up and I really did not think of it as any other day apart from a regular day where I'm at my desk appearing for a mock. That's it. I really did not think of it as anything
Right.
else. So yeah, that helped me put in that headspace and zone. So it was obviously crucial and essential.
Right, right, great. Also, I would like you to help our students understanding how did you analyze your mocks? Once you take a mock, analysis becomes even more important after taking mocks, right? So how was your journey with your analysis? How did you do it?
I think I'm going to be saying what mostly people don't hear. I honestly did not analyze my mocks. I never did. I gave around, say, 100 plus mocks easily. I did. Over the I did not even I know a lot of people take tabs and keep records of what mocks they gave, what score they got. I have not
Right,
once recorded that, or I have not recorded that on an Excel sheet on a piece of paper like most air ones. And I did not analyze my mocks. The reason for that was because I never felt the need to. I knew okay, I saw the paper, I would open the paper, I would just note down, okay, here I did not note down, I just acknowledged that this is where I made mistakes. So when
right,
I did that, I knew, okay, I'm making mistakes here. But obviously just I did not analyze each and every question or anything. I just acknowledged my mistakes. So I feel like you just have to acknowledge them, and you don't need to listen to anyone else. You just need to sit there alone, and you need to get the answer yourself, that why did I get this wrong and how can I not make this mistake next time. So I really did not analyze any mocks. But again, that I think this too varies individual to individual, because I was already scoring 100 plus since day one, so I did not feel that need. However, if someone is starting out, you certainly need to note down for one mock, for two mocks, for three mocks. You need to note. I feel like you need to note down what you are doing wrong and how you can improve that. Yeah.
right, right. So that's a really unique approach towards mocks and analysis. And I hope, I mean, I can see that it worked well, right? Of course, it worked well. And that's why you have ranked so well in IELT. But also, see, a lot of students find it very stressful, right? This journey to be very stressful. So, what were those stress buster things in your life? Maybe some hobbies or some other activities that you had to take you off that stress of preparation?
Okay, obviously it was very stressful. I'll be very honest with that. It was really stressful, because when you're in 12th grade, you're appearing for entrances. You at some point your your self image, your self worth becomes tied with what you're scoring, with what you're gonna get scored. It directly affects your confidence, your self perception of yourself. So for me, stress busters, the thing is, this was even more stressful for me because I loved reading. And I used to read all day for CLAT. I used to read the papers. I used to for AILET too. I used to just read all day. And then when I was stressed and I wanted to relax, I wanted to read too, but I had no energy left. So it kind of backfired. The CLAT strategy, the CLAT being so reading intensive, that backfired
Right.
that way. But I think the only reason that got me was talking to people and journaling. Yeah, talking to people, friends, acquaintances, people who are appearing for competitive exams, all kinds, JUPSC, like that. I think that is what helped me. Otherwise, as for my hobbies, I love reading, and I love athletics. I love working out. I did work out. That was a huge stress bust. I would go for 4 or 5 kilometer runs just to get into a good headspace after a bad or stressful day.
Right, right. Pretty interesting. So, I heard you had school also, right? I mean, was school, managing your school and your preparation very difficult? How did you balance it? How did you do it?
That is very difficult. That is certainly very difficult, because at certain points I felt like I should have gone for open schooling or taken a drop year. That thought was certainly in my mind at certain points. So it was, at first it was like, okay, let's go for that weekly test, let's also study for school, let's do this, let's participate in that school activity. So it was getting very hectic, but then again, you need to figure out your priorities. For me, since day one, CLAT and AILET were my first priority. So I talked to my teachers at school. I let them know that, please listen, this is my first priority and I won't be able to devote much time. And I was very clear with my school since day one with communication. So they helped me in the way. They helped me uh, balance out my time. They helped me not let skip class. They helped me skip classes at times and arrange special classes for me later. So that was pretty helpful. But if you are a student and you are managing CLAT with school studies, you just need to have a fixed schedule. But it is possible, it will happen. You just need to be disciplined. And one fact, I stopped studying for school for a whole month prior to CLAT and AILET. I did not touch my school textbooks at all. I completed all my syllabus in the initial months, and I just kept all my textbooks in a corner. I'm like, we'll get back to them after results. Yeah.
So, two takeaways. First, your school teachers were super supportive, I guess. And second
They were.
is a lot of sacrifice went uh, behind this particular rank that you have got, right? I mean, that's incredible. Great. So, at the end, Hiranya, I would like to uh, know what message would you like to give to those people who maybe did not clear the exam this time, or maybe those people who are going to write examination next year, right? So what tips or some words that you would like to, some message that you would like to convey to them?
Sure. First of all, for anyone who did not score as well as they were expecting or they would have expected, it's not your fault. It really is not, because the way AILET went this year, it was a surprise for everyone. I remember stepping out of the examination center, and the first thing I say to and my first reaction was literally this: that I love how uniform the response to AILET is. The response of the students is to AILET, just surprised. I love that response, because for the first time, I think it was a very, very uniform response. So I love that. But it's okay. I mean, don't be hard on yourself, because it really was not your fault. It was about keeping your calm in that 2 hour, in that 1.5 hours. And don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt your preparation. Be, you know you have worked hard for this. Every time I gave a mock, the day I was also preparing for the test, I would never tell myself that, okay, this was my highest score, this was my worst score, or that I had to score this much. I never set any expectations from myself, because I would just tell myself one thing, that you have worked hard for this, and that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what the end goal is. It matters what the journey was, what you did in your 1 year or 2 years. So it's fine. It's not your fault. It just happened to be a bad day. That is all. It's not like you were any less prepared. So, and also everything, I'm a firm believer of everything happens for a reason. So it will work out. Trust the process, have faith, appear for it again, and you may come out as air one that next time, you never know. And for anyone who's preparing for this, for these examinations, just one thing, take it easy, work hard, and literally just be true to yourself. You're not doing this for anyone else, you're doing this for yourself. And don't think about which NL you will get into, where you will end up. Just get up and think about, okay, this is what I should be doing today. Two questions. This is to ask yourself two questions: what I should be doing right now, and second question, am I doing this right now? That will
Wow.
surely lead you to success.
That's like a beautiful set of advices that our students got from you, Hiranya. Thank you so much, and all the very best for your future endeavors. Uh, just let us know if you need any kind of assistance in future. Just get in touch with me, and we will be there available for you. Right? Thank you so much. All the very best, Hiranya.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Take care. Bye bye.